Hello, everybody. My name is Jacquie. I'm a mother of two. I am 37 years old, and I wanted to start a podcast of the real, raw things that happen in life and motherhood. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At 20 years old, I moved across the country to Los Angeles, where I went to school to do hair. I pretty much worked in everything you could do with hair out there. For a small amount of time, I was working on set. I did a movie, I did a commercial, I did a lot of music videos, some fashion shows and photo shoots. It was tons of fun, but I ended up having my own space in the end. I met my husband out there. I grew out there as a young adult. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. My firstborn was born out there in Santa Monica. And we left when the pandemic happened. My husband is in the film industry, and we decided things were getting very expensive in Los Angeles, and it was higher and higher. I was working part-time, but I kept getting called out of work because of the pandemic. And he was getting work, but I don't think the caliber of work that he wanted. So we decided to pack up and move to Atlanta, Georgia. Now, in between that move, my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Right before that move, I had found out I was pregnant with my second. So I made a pit stop in Pittsburgh for 6 months, and I took her to her appointments and, had my pregnancy there. I ended up having my baby girl up there, and then we moved down to Atlanta. I also wanted to mention, after 15 years of being in the hair industry and having my 2 little babies, I decided to become a stay-at-home mom. And that is where I'm at now. Now, to go on more with that, this podcast is not just about explaining me. This is explaining mothers. This is explaining women. I want my husband to jump on here. I'm going to have friends on here that I'm interviewing. I'm using it mostly as a journal through my journey now. I had a near-death experience when I was 18 years old, which left me with post-traumatic stress. And I dealt with anxiety and depression after that, postpartum depression with my son. It kept creeping up. Fast forward 3 years of me fighting, trying to do all the things on my own. I had every coping mechanism you can imagine. I know it. I've done it. I ended up having a huge mental breakdown, and that was a couple weeks ago, and I will share that story with you guys. I also want to share some normal mom and dad things. I want to get my husband's opinion about a lot of stuff on here, so I will be having him on here a lot too for the dads. I know there's not a lot of vulnerable dads out there that talk about the real stuff that happens, and he is a working father. When he does work, he travels, or he's gone for 14 hours a day, sometimes more. So to see things from his side, I think would be very interesting. I have friends that are working moms that I want to bring on here. You're just going to get a lot of content for parents. My whole purpose of this podcast is to make you feel like you are not alone. Whatever is happening in your life, people have been there and they've made it through it. I've been there and I'm healing now, and I'll go through my healing process in other episodes. I'll go deeper into my near-death experience. I'll go into my childhood, all of that stuff. Hopefully it helps some people. Hopefully it has some questions. You guys can reach out to me and ask these questions. I will definitely answer them either on another podcast or, personally. And I'm just hoping to, put my story out there, give the platform for other mamas or other women or other fathers to put their stories out there so people can be heard and other people can, feel like, yeah, this shit is hard. And, we're kind of all in it together. And just to get the support from everybody, all different lifestyles, I think is very important. You're going to hear at first a lot of me just kind of journaling and getting out a lot of emotions. I'm a very, very, very raw person when it comes to talking about emotions. I am not afraid to be vulnerable. I'm not afraid to tell my truth. And my truth might not be the same for everybody. And that's okay, and that's beautiful. And I love to learn from what other people have gone through as well. That's why I want to share with other people in this podcast as well. So yes, I wanted to have my first episode be short and sweet. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of mom-dad stuff. However, with the anxiety, the trauma, the PTSD, the mental breakdown, everything I've been going through, I think there is a lot that everybody can learn. So I hope you guys start listening. Please email me with any questions, anything you want to talk about, anything you want me to talk about. And I am excited to start this journey. And welcome to the Mama Jac Podcast.